Go home or go to jail. Those are the only two options tonight for people living in one Mid-South neighborhood.
The mayor of Helena, West Helena, Arkansas, has issued a mandatory curfew. The curfew is in place for an area he refers to as a hot spot for crime. It applies to anyone, any age, and any time of day. As Eyewitness News Everywhere reporter Kevin Hans uncovers, people who live in that area have mixed feelings on the mayor's decision.
Because of all the recent crime in Helena, West Helena, we're talking about robberies, home invasions, loitering, shootings, the mayor of Helena, West Helena has decided to impose a curfew, but only in certain areas, and it applies for everyone, no matter the age and no matter the time. If you're caught violating curfew, there's a chance you could wind up behind bars.
We're afraid that somebody's going to get seriously hurt by what's going on. This curfew is for all people. Everybody is subject to stop and investigation. It's almost akin to martial law.
And that's exactly what some are calling it. For now, 2nd Street and several streets surrounding it will look just like this. And if you're caught outside without a good enough excuse,
it's zero tolerance. They're going to jail.
An idea that's fine by Martha Coleman.
You never know where a bullet is going to go. You never know who house is going to hit, what person is going to hit. And, you know, sleeping on the floor because you don't know where a bullet is going to, go to. It might come in my house. It might come in my neighbor's house. So I commend the Helena, West Helena Police Department.
But others say instead of addressing the problem,
it's just going to make it worse.
And some say instead of home sweet home, the past 24 hours,
it's been like jail. You can't come out your own home. You can't go to the store without getting stopped by the police and questioned and harassed.
While Richard Robinson applauds the city's efforts,
I think the idea is good to stop the crime, but I think the way that the police department is handling the situation is all wrong. When the police come by and tell you when you own your own property or not, that you cannot come outside, I think that's martial law and that can only be inflicted by the National Guard. That's my opinion on it.
But after several rapes, robberies, and shootings, Mayor James Valley says he's exhausted all the possibilities. And he says this is the best move to turn around what some are calling a very rough area.
This turf belongs to the taxpaying citizens, not to the drug dealers and the hustlers. And we're going to pop them in the head.
Mayor tells me he only has power to issue a 48-hour curfew, so when this one expires, he'll file paperwork to issue another one and another one and another one until City Council takes action or until he sees some results. Now, we understand that residents aren't the only ones in uproar over the mayor's decision. So is the ACLU, and they've issued this statement late this afternoon. It's a letter to the mayor basically saying that he violates the 1st, 4th, and 14th Amendments. So this is far from over, and we'll stay on top of this and let you know what happens.
Are there any exceptions at all, any kind of wiggle room for people with this curfew?
Well, if you have a valid excuse, it's all on a case-by-case scenario if you're there visiting family or if you have some legitimate business. Again, legitimate business would be in the eye of the officer. If he or she feels that your business there is legitimate, then you're free to go.
All right, Kevin. Mayor James Valley says at least 10 people have been arrested since the curfew went into effect on Thursday.